911, what is the location of your emergency?
Units have started an incomplete call. Call taker heard. Caller yelling for help. Unknown circumstances.
Take a deep breath for me, okay? Help is on the way.
One Charles 35, I copy. Units to start code 3 to 1 Charles 35. Sergeant to copy. Papers for you.
You're listening to the Raspy Dispatcher. I would like to take a brief moment to advise of a trigger warning. This episode, like a majority of our episodes, include actual 911 calls and recordings. Some things heard in these 911 calls can be upsetting. This is the reality of being an emergency dispatcher. If you hear this sound, understand a 911 call is about to be played. If you would prefer to skip this portion of the show, I understand. Thank you. Hello, everybody, and welcome back to the Raspy Dispatcher. My name is Ashley. I'm currently a dispatcher out of the state of California. On today's episode, we're going to talk about a bit of a heavy topic, managing critical incidents as a dispatcher. It's super important that we check in with ourselves, check in with each other, and we keep it real. Sometimes we all need a little extra help. Keep commenting on all these videos. I read your comments. I love hearing from you guys. I love engaging with our community. If you have any questions or looking for a specific topic to be covered, make sure to throw it in that comment section, because I definitely read and take all these thoughts into consideration. Because in this line of work, it's not a matter of if, but when. When will you have to deal with a major critical incident where you work? Every time a 911 call drops in a dispatcher's ear, you never know what's going to be on the other end of that line. You never know when you're going to talk to a father who had just found his son shot, or the person who's calling in saying, hey, I just don't want my family to find my body, followed by that one lone gunshot. You could be working a radio channel when you hear an officer come up screaming, fighting with one. Or, in the tragic case of Officer Dia, officer down.
We have a caller reporting there's an intoxicated male in the parking lot in a silver Mercury four-door car with plate of Henry Frank King 5278. Says he has open beer cans inside the vehicle. The caller has watched him drink 3 beers since she's been there. He's asking for a jump for his vehicle. It's currently disabled, so he can take off. He's stocky, wearing a white shirt, white male. 1035 West Alexis at Home Depot 110.
And Tenderly.
118.
Telegraph and no assignment.
Here's calls 120, 21, 28, call 3, 1035 West Alexis at Home Depot.
118, tell this my family I love them.
I can't copy.
118, tell my family I love them. Yeah.
We got crews coming. I'm getting medical. Shooter. Any available crews go. All available crews go. We have a suspect in custody.
White male ran back behind the Home Depot with a dog.
White male back behind the Home Depot with a dog. The crew's out at Home Depot. Check your safety. Where you need the crews en route at?
They're by the garden section.
Crews en route. Go to the garden section.
Do we have medical coming?
Coming, sir.
119, I got a dog behind the Home Depot in the apartment driveway.
Copy. Very low.
Where's 119 location?
Behind the Home Depot. I got a lot of movement in this wooded area behind here. The plate of the suspect car is Henry Frank King, 5278. Car's here. Can we get a name and an address on that?
Yes, sir.
.319 let Toledo know we're coming in with officer.
Okay.
We need other crews coming to the back of Home Depot, please.
92 are coming to you.
18, we're coming to you.
419, we're at the back. 128, they took him to Toledo. They took the officer to Toledo. Let them know that they're en route. 119, I got a creek pipe back here. If I can get a K9 and more crews with me.
He says I'm en route. 219, next way, 4549 Eastway.
42123.
421. 223. Copy. 321, we're 23. 321. 23. 23.
329.
Copy.
1823.
Copy.
One.
Go ahead. $119. Dispatcher 119.
There you go.
Sir, were you coming across? Is there a crew with them?
119, I have crews with me.
Okay.
19, we're pulling up to Toledo.
Pulling up to Toledo.
955, we're 23.
955.
1023 on Lexus.
Okay.
Hey, when you get to Toledo, come right to the front entrance of the ER. We'll have you ready for them here. You can't go to the back. There's too many cars there.
101 on 23 at the Home Depot.
Copy. 28123. 428. 21923. 219. 6.
Whoever's bringing the officer in, how bad is he? Is he going to be ambulatory, or is he going to have to be moved on a cart?
Probably cart.
All right. All right, we got the cart ready for you here.
Now, I know that radio traffic was hard to listen to. Honestly, it's hard for me to listen to. But one thing that I really focus in on, past that officer's final words, is the dispatcher. The dispatcher is definitely trying her best to keep calm, keep it together, let that officer know, hey, I hear you, help is coming, as well as get the help there as quickly as possible. This day, that radio transmission, this major critical incident, is going to sit with that dispatcher for the rest of her career. So now the question becomes, how do we deal with a critical incident after everything's all said and done? After the smoke has cleared, after the call has been cleared, what happens next? So in today's video, that's the question we're going to be answering. We're going to be giving you guys some tools, some tips, some tricks in order to help manage and deal with major critical incidents. Because as we've already said, it's not a matter of if, but when. When will you deal with a major critical incident? Dispatchers and first responders of all kinds show up to work every single day, running into fires, running towards bullets, answering emergency calls for service. Now, dispatchers in particular go through what I like to call the dispatch cycle. See, the difference between those who respond out to the scene of an incident and a dispatcher, in my opinion, and one that I think is relative, is that the first responder on scene of the call could work that one call for an entire shift, whereas the first responder dispatcher is going to go from call to critical incident to critical incident. Because of this, it's important to understand as dispatchers how to handle our responses to what we hear over the phone. So here's how the dispatch cycle goes. The first phase of the dispatch cycle is what I like to call onset. This is where the critical incident starts. It's either a 911 phone call or radio transmission from an officer expressing a major critical incident.
Colorado Springs 911, this is Lori. What is the address of your emergency?
4202 Marlowe Circle. Two men have just crossed my fence. They're trying to get in my house.
Is it an apartment or a house?
House. Corner of Shelton and Marlowe.
And your first name?
They're coming in my house. Meg.
I understand. What's your first name?
N-E-G.
Maggie, you said?
Meg, N-E-G.
Okay. And it's two males, you said?
Yes. One in the red jumpsuit, the other with the blue and white hoodie.
And the one in the red jumpsuit, is he white, black, or Hispanic? Hello?
Yes. They just broke the glass.
Okay.
Going into the closet.
The one in the red jumpsuit, is he white, black, or Hispanic? In a red jumpsuit, okay.
Please hurry.
They're on their way. And the second one, was he white, black, or Hispanic?
I think Hispanic.
Okay, and I'm sorry, what color clothing did you say he had on? And Meg, we do have officers en route to your location, okay? You said they're now inside the house?
Yes.
The second phase of this cycle is relief. This is when those who are responding to the scene, the help, arrives.
They run.
They ran?
Cop, there's a cop.
Is the policeman with you?
They're running out the back pasture. They're running towards Fountain. The cops got them. They're running into the apartment complex across the street. The cops following them. The red suit guys run away from the cops, heading towards Academy. The cops going after the guy into the apartment complex. The red suited guy is still running past the apartment.
Okay.
Just went into the apartments, Summit Apartments.
Okay, are you okay?
I am.
Okay.
Third phase, replay. That dispatcher is going to be thinking about that call over and over and over again, especially if it affected them in some type of way. Now, the fourth phase is critique. That dispatcher is going to replay that call over and over again, specifically looking at their role in the incident, the questions they asked, the route they took. They'll even listen back to the recordings of their conversation and honestly point out any mistakes they may have made Look, a critical incident ranges. It's not going to be the same for everyone. We all bring our own baggage, we all have our own triggers. After all, we're all just humans under those headsets at the end of the day. So, because of this, it's important to understand what's going to trigger you and what your triggers are. A critical incident is defined as a sudden, unexpected, overwhelming event that is out of the range of what is expected to occur. With that being said, a lot of the things we hear over the phone are going to be out of the range of what is expected for a regular person to hear, especially daily. Following a critical incident, most people experience feelings and emotions that are sometimes hard to accept, to deal with. So, as dispatchers who are going to experience these feelings more than your average person, it's important to understand our acute stress reactions. Understanding these is going to help us recover from these incidents better and, more importantly, in a healthy manner. Now, the UN Refugee Agency, UNHCR, created a acute stress response chart that maps out the first week after someone dealt with a critical incident. The chart includes common tips and tricks and things to know when dealing with these critical incidents. As always, that link is going to be in the resources section in the bio if you want to check it out in detail. But I'll briefly go over it here. The first section that is broken up into following a major critical incident is the first few hours after that event. They describe the feelings and the emotions as mainly physical and perceptual, and they're mostly related to the fight or flight response nervous system. The second part of this chart is broken up into the first few days after that incident. They describe your feelings as initially numb when you're starting to really feel the impact of that major critical incident that you were involved in. Reactions tend to be related to a higher level of stressor. And the final section is normal reactions 3 to 7 days after a major critical incident. They describe this part of the phase as fewer physical reactions, though the emotional and psychological reactions, those continue to occur. Now, most major incidents can be worked through without seeking psychological help. This is typically done through keeping that regular routine and leaning on family and friends for support. But that is not always the case. UNHCR suggests that if these feelings persist more than a month following that major critical incident, this could be an indicator of PTSD, post-traumatic stress disorder. They go on to say you should seek help if you feel that you cannot handle your intense feelings and emotions. If the effects which follow this event continue to get worse and they don't get better. If you continue to experience distress and or physical and emotional symptoms. If you continue to have nightmares or if your sleep continues to be affected. If you are using an increased amount of alcohol or drugs. Or your responses to this incident are hurting your personal relationship. Be aware of these things. And if they are happening to you, it's okay to seek help. Look, this job is tough. It's not a job that anyone can do. We take everyone's baggage, the baggage of strangers, and we put it on our shoulders. And we carry it with us, even after we hang up our headset for that day. This is why it's important to check in with ourselves, not only after major incidents, but daily. Now, a few things to remember following a major incident. Expect the incident to bother you. How you feel is okay, no matter how you feel. It's okay that it bothers you. Expect that you may feel some sort of guilt. Be gentle with yourself. Remind yourself that these reactions that you are feeling, they are normal. Learn as much as possible about acute stress reactions, especially yours in particular. This will help with this process and help you to recover in a healthy manner. Get plenty of sleep and rest. When our sleep is deprived, we have a hard time recovering, even on a regular day. This is exceptionally important when dealing with a major critical incident. Spend time with your trusted friends, family, coworkers, and talk about the incident and your feelings about it. As much as possible, try to follow your regular routines and keep to a balanced diet. Practice stress management, relaxation, yoga, reading, art, whatever it is that helps you find your calm. Attend those group debriefings if your department holds them, unless you find those events to be too traumatic. Minimize your use of nicotine, caffeine, alcohol, drugs, and sugar. Contact your peer support, staff welfare, any resources that your place of employment offers, or any resources that your medical offers to help you get through this situation. Thank you so much for joining us today. This topic of managing these critical incidents, managing our wellness as dispatchers, is one of extreme importance. Importance I didn't really quite get until I started doing the job. So let's remember to take care of ourselves daily so we can take care of each other, and then we can continue to serve the community where we answer the calls every single day. So thanks for listening. Don't want to miss any upcoming episodes? Go ahead and subscribe wherever it is that you listen to podcasts. And if you really enjoy the show, drop a 5-star rating and tell a friend. You can also find us on YouTube, Facebook, and Instagram at The Raspy Dispatcher, and of course, theraspydispatcher.com. Control, this is The Raspy Dispatcher. Show me 908. Log it off for now.